All right, this time at the Quick Speed Shop, check it out. I got my welder out. What's this thing? Bam! It's a custom roll bar, bed bar, light bar, back window protector, conglomeration. It's going on the back of my brown Dodge, and we're gonna cut up an old roll bar and build this awesome thing, and it's gonna come out pretty cool. So you wanna see how I did it? I'll show you right now. Oh look, it's the brown Dodge we've been working on for the last year. You guys are like, I thought we got rid of that thing and stopped working on it. Nope, there it is, bam. Oh my goodness, this thing's taller than a mofo. Immediately. What's going on here? Choke must be stuck on or something. Tell you what, I don't know what's wrong with this Holly carburetor. Maybe the choke's stuck on it or not opening. You fired right up, but then it goes like full on rich. We gotta do some tuning with that. It was not happy. But anyways, oh no, the sun just chose to start getting out of the way, so now we can't see what we're doing. So this roll bar I got out of the junkyard or something. It's meant for like a step-side truck, but not a full-size truck. So it is a little narrow, but we're gonna widen her and use it. It's not actually, for rollover protection. It's more just to put lights and stuff on. But it's gonna be super awesome if I can get it up on here without wrecking everything. I should. Oops, hold on a minute. Not working out too good right now. Don't tip over. It's gonna tip over. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh. How'd all the paint get scratched? Oh, I don't know. Monkeying around with nonsense. Of course, I went and I took the plywood out of the back of the truck, so now there's really nothing to stand on. That was a smart move. And I'm not committed to putting the bed floor in yet because I got to do the rest of the exhaust and stuff like that, so I want to leave that out. So right now you can see this fits inside the bed, kind of like you would think it would, but I don't want to do that because I don't want to waste bed space with this. I want to make it into like a sport bar that bolts on top of the bed rails. I'll just ride like that, I guess. Because it's a little narrow right now. It's going to look a little goofy. I mean, it would sit inside the bed, but this is made for a fleet side truck, but a medium-sized truck, probably like a Jeep Comanche or a Dodge Dakota or something like that. So this bar overall is just a little bit narrow for the cab. So it would look a little funny if I just extended these down. It would fit in the bed, but it would look a little strange, I think. Oh, this is handy. It looks a little too narrow, being there. It should be out more to the sides of the cab. And the angle's a little bit different. See, it's got this peak up here in the center. We're going to cut it there. We're going to take some of that out of it because it's got too much of a peak. And that'll essentially roll the sides out and make it a little bit better. So I just wanted to get a look at what we got going on here. Yeah, this height. Whoa, there goes the paint. Don't hit the cab. What are you doing? The height on the cab is about right. I don't want to go too much higher than that because I don't want it to be, like I said, I got trouble getting in the door. This is going to have to be removable for the truck to go back in the garage. My pole barn will fit into the big door, but this is not going to fit in the 7-foot door. But so you can see the roof and the height of the roll bar there. It needs to go up just a little bit, but not too much. I don't want it too high. All right, here's a sneak peek into what is happening. I'm going to be running a spare tire on the outside of the box. Yes, just like they did back in the day, and it's going to be awesome. Wait till you see that. But for right now, I just got to approximate. And since the tire, these tires are pretty big, and I don't want it to stick out super far, so I got to think about that with the roll bar. So for the spare, I went with this old school bar pattern. This is actually a retread tire. I got it at tirerecappers.com out of Tennessee, and it's a retreaded Chili's Desert Hawk. So anyways, they recapped it with their tread. It's not, it's pretty cheap. You can see there's a bunch of things in there. Man, it's windy out here. So I wanted that early bar look, but I didn't want to pay for a brand new. They repop these like Coker and stuff does, but they're horrendously expensive. And I didn't want to put another $300 mud tire, which I'm going to be running this on as a spare. So we're going to go with this. It's going to look cool, like the old style look, like it's the original spare. Anyways, it's going to hang off the side of the box like this. Once the rim's in it and inflated, it'll be out a little farther. But you see, if I move the roll bar out too far, it's going to bump the tire. So I'm like, do I just leave it in narrow or do I bring it out? And I think if I leave it narrow, it's still going to look a little goofy. I mean, I could extend the feet down and have it be what it is, but it's going to look a little narrow for the cab. And I would really have it come out and kind of like parallel the cab. So if I take the crease out of the center and tweak it a little bit, but it's going to mean that it's going to end up bolting right on the bed, like right around in here somewhere, which is fine because it'll still kick out enough. And if I got to bump the spare out like an inch away from that side, it is what it is, I guess. It's going to be, I mean, it's already big and hanging off the side. If it sticks out another little bit, what does it matter? So luckily with the 8-foot box here, I don't need to run the fender with the cutout in it. I got enough room to run this big tire. It's a 235 85/16. I've got enough room to run this 31 inches pretty much on the box side here without cutting into the fender. Uh-oh. Now we've gone too far. So I cut the roll bar and I laid out on the floor here the pickup bed in the slope of the back of the detail line around the window. I've got the top of the bed rail here, and then the edge of it here, and then the top of the bed, and then this is roughly the body line, and then the roof. So I'm just kind of eyeballing it. We're going to go and I'm just using this for like get an idea what to do. So I think right now I'm going to measure up from the feet and just like cut it off somewhere and guess, just as long as I'm above that line. We'll cut it a little bit long. I'd probably just cut it right here right where it starts to taper and go out, cut it like here. Well, now things have definitely got out of hand. I cut the bar down. I went out. It's dark out. It's hard to see out there, so I can't show you, but basically cut down the driver's side first, and I kept lowering it until I liked the height to the cab. But then I saw the curve to the outside. When I stood this part horizontally, it was off a little bit. I'm like, oh, I can change that. And we already cut the center out of it, so I basically leaned it in to where I like the curve of the outside of the cab. And I guess now I'm just going to saw it here and saw it off there. I've got this piece of 3-inch pipe, same thickness. It's like 16 gauge. It's actually a piece of like galvanized fence post, but it's essentially the same material. So I think I'm going to replace the whole center of this now, saw it off there and saw it off there, and then put a new straight piece all the way across to get it, leave this angle, then make it there. I might take my, I got this Harbor Freight tubing bender here. Might just try to put a little bit of curve to it, just so it's got just a touch, because the roof does have some curve to it. And make an all new top, get it tacked. We'll tack it up here on the floor, and then I can take it outside in one piece. But it's getting kind of hacked down here. Look at all the bees nests I found. This thing, the electrical tape is taping up holes that were in this thing for wires for the lights, I assume. And I remember I had it out back for years, and it had bees in it. All those bees nests, all yellow jacket nests fell out of it. The thing was full of bees nests. No wonder it was always a hazard until I taped those holes up. But we're slicing and dicing. There's not going to be much left of the original bar, but it would have been way easier just to bolt it down inside the box and leave it how it was. But, you know, like I said, it didn't really fit the cab the best. And this way it's going to fit a lot better. So I guess I'll keep slicing and keep dicing. All right, here we go. I got the hoop welded up. I tried to use my bender over here, which I don't have 3-inch dies. I tried using 2-inch dies, which is the biggest ones I have, to bend the pipe. And of course, I ruined it because I couldn't see what was happening. The die was mushed into it there and didn't really bend it and ruined it. So I had to figure out something else. I didn't have any other 3-inch pipe. So I took the down legs that had cut off here and I used them to make the hoop. I welded them in here. I put a little peak in there to match the peak of the roof of the truck, and it came out good. And I took it outside. It's like too dark to see anything out there now, but I took it outside, set it up on the box, and it's going to work out good. It's perfect with the inside of the box here on my diagram on the floor there. It works out good. I think I want to trim 1 more inch off the bottom of here to lower it just like an inch or so, but it sticks just above the roof in the back. Obviously I'll have to put new light mounts and stuff on it now that I've cut that they're over here on this thing. But look at, that's all the bee's nest. I found a lot more inside once I cut it apart. It was a ton of yellow jackets in there at some along the way after the years, but that's gross. So I've got all this miscellaneous nonsense left over. All the feet are pretty much junk. They're all rotted out and stuff at the bottom, so those are probably junk. Here's the light mounts. I probably won't try to cut these off because it'll be easier just to make new ones out of some more channel I got and weld new ones on. All right, it's the next day. Temperature went way down. It's only like 35 degrees out, but we're still out here fabbing. Check it out. I wasn't sold. Last night I was looking at my pictures and I was like, man, did I make a mistake not having to go down in the bed? But actually it fits really, really well now. It follows the shape of the cab. It's actually up above the cab just a little bit like a roll bar should if it's actually going to protect anything. And it's going to line right up with the stake pockets, which is going to be good. It doesn't go really high above the roof, which is awesome. It's about level with the crown of the roof, so it's not going to look pretty goofy. You know, sometimes they look goofy. They're up too tall or not tall enough, like I said before. But it follows the shape of the roof pretty good here on the sides. I put the little crown in the center when I welded those pieces back in to kind of match the crown and the roof a little bit. It's pretty close to matching. And everything is I think it's going to look good. Let's see from the front. You can see it just a little bit around the cab, but it's not real obtrusive. There. When we put the KC highlighters on, we'll have some brackets up here. I'll probably put them flush to the roll bar down here so the lights aren't real tall. Well, you probably want them, they got to be above the roof anyways. It's gonna look good, and then the gumball light's gonna go in the center. So I'm just looking right now. If I came off of here, these are gonna be kind of short coming down here. Look kind of, I don't know. I think they look better if they came off up here and went down longer and made the bed bar a little bit longer, maybe like to about this hole here. So I'm thinking about cutting these off, grinding them all flush, and then maybe using like 2-inch tube or something that's a little bit smaller. I actually got like 2.5-inch maybe, and coming off like up here in line with the bed up here somewhere and coming all the way down back to here. I think that'd look a lot better and give it like the big roll bar look without being super intrusive. This side, like I had that spare, is gonna be blocked by most of it, but this guy's not sticking out too far here. The spare tire should just clear it. I should be able to move it enough where the tire will just be right here and go in all this, so it should be fine. All right, jumped ahead a little bit because this is a lot of like cutting and grinding on the floor that would have been redonkulous, cutting and grinding. But I've got the bar tacked to the new down pipes. I ended up having this piece of exhaust tubing, 2.5-inch diameter, so I'm using this to make the down tube here. And as you can see, I got some kind of big gaps, but most of it's kind of tight. This is a real complicated angle here on angle, and got it close enough. So I'm gonna weld most of it. Now when it's hot, I'm just gonna dimple it with a hammer a little bit and flow it in. It's gonna be good enough. The bottom ones fit pretty good because they're on flat surface, but I made the bed bar pieces here out of the 3-inch, 1/8-inch flat stock, and it's pretty much symmetrical-ish, what it looks like to me. So now that it is here, let's carry it out and set it on the truck and take a look-see before we get too carried away and weld it all together. All right, here I come. Let's set it up on here. Whoa. Careful. Oh boy. Bam, look at that. Man, that looks pretty sweet. Oops, ahead just a touch and I'm back it up just a hair. Right about, I'm going to center the big tube over the stake pockets. I think that'll be a good look there. I like it. It looks pretty trick. Hold on, let me get it centered up where I want it centered up. Yeah, this is bolt holes holding me way up in the air over here. That's why it's rocking around. Oh man, I like it. What do you guys think? How does it look? That is pretty awesome. Sport bar action. I was dubious on my, like I said a minute ago, I was dubious on my plan to cut it and move it to the outside of the bed, but now that I see it like this, that was the right answer. This thing is super trick. You see what I'm talking about here? There's a bolt. See, it's lifted up right there. There's a bolt. I got to hammer that down for final fitment. But dang, man, that's super awesome. That'll look perfect. It lines up good with the cab all the way around. It's going to look perfect with lights mounted on it and the gumball light. Holy moly. Holy moly. It's got a good gap to the cab. Man, this is killer. I love it. All right, I'll go back inside and I'll probably clamp it down to my little fixture I made on the table there so it doesn't move. I'll get her welded up and then we're going to add some more tubing, like I said. I think I'm going to come across off here with a pipe that'll be about here. Then where these black lines are on the slider, I might put a down piece and a down piece just so it's got some protection to the glass. It seems like a good idea. Ever have one of those moments where you think that you suck or you're crazy and it turns out it's somebody else's fault? Well, that just happened. So I've been welding away on the stupid roll bar and it's coming out looking like garbage. Like garbage. Like welded garbage, looks like garbage. It's got all this brown coming around here and I'm thinking, well, maybe because this is a little rusty on the inside, I get the paint away and I'm welding away. But down here it's all brand new steel and it's got this brown showing up around it. And the welds are pencil-y and stuff. And I'm like, what is the problem? I know I only been welding for like 25 years, but maybe I just suck for 25 years. And I went and I got a new bottle of gas the other day for the welder, and I also got a new Miller hood so I can actually see what's going on versus like a cheap Harbor Freight garbage helmet. So I've been welding away. I got that helmet and what do you call it? Bottle when I finished up the bumper on my Dodge truck, and I could see clearly like shielding gas around the weld, but it was weird. I'm like, what is this? It was like making like a vapor around the weld, but I got a brand new helmet where I can actually see. So I thought maybe that's what it looks like when you weld with a helmet, you can actually see. So I didn't question it. So I just had finished up the bumper and it kind of welded. It wasn't the best here and there. I'm like, why is this welding weird? But I finished it and I think it's all right. So then I get into this project. And the bottle's still brand new. It's still got 2,000 pounds on the gauge, so I barely welded any with the bumper, and then I just started welding this. And I'm like, it's welding like freaking garbage. Maybe it's me. I don't know. And I went and I bought a new cord because I had been running the welder on a 12 gauge extension cord, which is undersized. So I bought this 8 gauge wire from Amazon, which is rated for 50 amps, and I put in an actual 50 amp welder plug right off my outlet. Even though this welder only draws 23 amps. So I put it on a 40 amp breaker. I put it on a 40 amp breaker here. So I got plenty of juice with a huge cord. It's feeding number 8 wire in the panel. I'm like, maybe it's not getting enough voltage with the inverter. So we got plenty of copper now to run the cord. And it's still welding like garbage. So I called my buddy and we were talking. I'm like, dude, is it just me or is it thing? Then he's like, well, we were talking about the gas, and he's like, maybe you're sucking in oxygen in the hose. I got looking at the sticker, argon, straight argon, not CO2 and mix, 25 mix, what's supposed to be. And when I went to the welder store, the dude's like, oh, I've only been here for 2 days. And I'm like, well, I need to exchange this bottle, and I bought the helmet. So he gave me an argon bottle, and I didn't look at it because I figured somebody working at the welding store would know the difference. I didn't even question it. I'm like, oh, here's the bottle. Let me take it home. So argon is for TIG welding, not MIG welding. And it will do the things like this. It'll make pore coverage, pore shielding coverage, what the brown stuff is. It'll make the welds like pencil up. So I wasn't smart enough to realize that I've been welding with argon the last week. That's the problem. It's not me. It's not the welder. It's that the guy gave me the wrong gas. So now I got to take the gas bottle out, take it to work, leave work early, go to the welding store and exchange it. Which means we can't finish this right now because I'm not going to keep welding on it with garbage welds with freaking argon. What a disaster. I mean, I guess it's luckily this thing is just, is what it is. It's just a light bar that's not doing nothing. But, if I was doing like framework or something, I'd be like, oh, why is this welding like garbage? I'm like, this is welding like garbage, and I don't know why. Well, that's why. So anyways, I'm going to cut out some pieces. I guess there won't be any more right this second in the video because there's no sense welding it together with garbage. I'm going to cut out the pieces I need. Tomorrow I'll go to the welding store. I'll get the correct bottle, and we'll go from there. Well, I soldiered on here with a welder. I did some more cutting. I made my light brackets, and I got the KC lights out here. I just tacked them on so we can take a look. Bam! Look at that! How awesome is this? Now, these are real KC lights. Look at that KC right on the glass right there. I bought these apparently for $5 a pair at a swap meet. I probably got them for like $1 or $2. Maybe I paid $5, who knows? But they're real KC lights. They even say KC up here on the top. And I've just gone and I've made little mounts here out of angle iron, 2-inch angle iron. I just ground a little round curve to match, and I tacked it on there with the argon gas. I obviously haven't got the right gas yet, but those are on there awesome. Check that out. Super cool. I'm going to leave the original patina on these. These are in nice shape. And I would like to get oh, actually, look at this. There's a sticker on here. I saw it earlier. Where is it? Right here, KC highlights. Bam, right on top. Same thing. So I think I want to get the yellow KC lights, that say KC and I got the smiley face or whatever, and put the light covers on here. I think that'd be super cool and old school. But I love it already. It looks super awesome. It's going to look great to have those lights up above the roof, and they'll actually match the plow lights, they're on the plow frame. Oh, actually, also, while I had the welder out working like garbage, I tacked up the back window bars. So I took a piece of 1-inch and I spanned the pipes here. So that's going to span the front of the box. And then right where the slider is, like I said, it's 20 inches wide. So right where the slider bars are in the rear glass is right where I put those. So, they won't really be in the way looking through the windows. So those are all just tacked in. I'll bird them in obviously when I get the new gas. But I really like the way this bed bar is coming out. I can't wait to go outside and look at it with the KC lights. But let me hold the gumball light up and we'll see how that looks. This is a Arrow beacon light. It's been on the truck since day one. They had it bolted to the sheet metal original roof skin, which wrecked the roof. But we're going to mount her up on the bed bar here. Something like either that or I'm a little worried about stuff hitting it being in the bed, so I might make a plate and put it out here so it floats over the roof, which I think would be a better scenario. So it'll be over the roof a little bit. Make a steel plate out of like 3/16 and bend the edges down so it's got a lot of support. But the gumball light will sit here and rotocone. Or plowing, we'll have our safety action. And I really look at this is like accessories to the max here. I can't believe it. It's too awesome. But that will work good. If you go back and watch the video where I just got this truck running before I disassembled it all, this light is working in that video. So that's it. I'm going to put the welder away, take the tank off, and go to work tomorrow, and we'll get some actual C25 gas And then we can weld all this up. So this is a mount for the gumball light that I just made real fast. And I welded a piece of 1x2 channel to the bottom of this plate my friend Jordan cut out, Daydreaming Fabrications. And what it's going to do is sit up here like this. Bam, right there. What do we got here? We got 0.8 degrees that way, so I'm going to 0 it. Boom. And then take it up here. And all we got to do is move it till we get to 0. We're close enough to 0. Right there. That's close enough. Oh, I bumped it. Oh, too much. Oh, crap. Hold on a second. Stand by for tacking. Well, it's 0.3 degrees off from, that's going to be good enough, I'm going to say. 0.3 degrees is a very little bit, tiny little bit. So now the gumball light comes over here like this. That's the wire hole, that's that. Look at that, boom, it sits right on there. And see the bolt holes, there it is. And like that. Bam, check that out. Got both KC lights on there. Holy moly, this is awesome. We got more action on this bar than anything else I've ever seen. Look at that. And originally I was going to put the yellow light forward so it wouldn't be hanging over into the bed so much, but I think it's way better being centered on the bar just because the overall gigantic size of it. That's going to look good and it's going to be a strong mount. It won't vibrate around. But man, this thing is awesome. Look at all that nonsense. Super cool. And we're going right back to the 70s and 80s with this setup. Now you can still get the canvas covers, like the big yellow ones with the smiley face or the KC lights. I'm going to get a set of those. They're like 20 bucks a piece. So this will have big covers on it. And I did check the wires with a 12-volt battery. Both these lights work. I think they're 100 watt, like floodlights. So I will wire them up with a separate switch and a relay and stuff eventually. So I'll be able to turn them on if I want to. The gumball light will absolutely work for when I'm plowing. I can be going with the yellow light. So this is super cool. Can't believe it. Okay, it's a couple days later. Honestly, I forget where I was when I left off, but I'm going to talk about it right now. And one more thing Jordan cut out. Check it out. Bam! Quick speed shop. We're going to logo this thing up. That's right. I said it. And it's going to weld right here between the bars. These bars line up with the slider rear window. And the window starts about the top of this here, or maybe just into it just a little bit. And this is going to weld right on here. You'll see the brown through the letters, so it'll give it like two-dimensional depth when it's on the truck. Kind of difficult to balance all this stuff on a round tube when it wants to ride around on you. Okay, that's going to go right there. I'm going to, oh, I don't have my welding held on. All right. Aha, got it. How's that? Got it. Boom. So this thing is pretty much fabricated all the way up here now. I got to hit it with a grinder just a little bit. I got to drill some holes in the flat stock where we're going to bolt it onto the bed sides. I haven't decided if I'm going to, where is it? I haven't decided if I've got these turnbuckle tie down deals. I might want to add one of these on either side. up in here so I got something to tie to. Can you see it? No, you can't because you're looking over there. Right there, I got these guys. I could, bolt them through, and then I'd have a place to tie on. Maybe put them up here so they're right in the front. Then we'd have a place to tie on that would be bolted through here and bolted through the bed rail. The only thing is they go like this. So they wear the paint off and they rattle. So these ones I might just wrap a little bit of electrical tape around it so it makes like a little cushion so it doesn't sit there and rattle steel on steel. But I think you can never have too many tie down points, and being that this is going to be in the front of the bed, it wouldn't be bad. Uh-oh, got the lights mounted up. Check it out. The gumbo light fits awesome. Right here on the, I don't have the bolts in it, just sitting up here, but it's an arrow. Look at that, old school action. And it goes, lets you know what's up. And the KC highlighters are on here. I think it came out pretty sweet for the amount of monkeying around I had to do, the amount of bees nests that were in it. I think it's going to look trick on the truck. I've had it on a couple times. Everything clears. I would show you, but I need to get it ground up and primed and painted. And the weather is like really cold out, so the truck's outside. It won't fit in the garage with the lights on it, so the bar's got to go on it outside, and then the lights got to come off once it gets back inside here later on. So I can't put it on right now. I mean, I can put it on outside right now, but the weather's pretty cold and nasty. It's only in the 20s. So I'm going to get it painted up in here. For now, I'm going to get this ground up, primed. It's going to just be painted black. But I'm not going to know when I'm going to get to it. Like I said, it's kind of nasty out. So I'll get it on the truck. When we start working on the Dodge again, you'll see it on there all painted up. But you get the idea. This is pretty much what it's going to look like, except just black. So it's super awesome. Thanks, Jordan, for making that. That's a neat detail there. Try to put the logo on everything I build now. So that's kind of cool. And yeah, took an old junkyard roll bar, cut it up, moved it around, and turned it into a fancy light bar, bed bar, back window protector. Awesome old school action. So I guess that's it. I gotta go in, it's late, and we'll see you next time. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, but actually, next time, yeah, we're gonna work on 37 Ford, like I just said, putting the skirts on it and getting ready to go to the show up there. So you'll see that next time. 37 Ford is in the shop for a couple weeks. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you again. Leave a comment. We'll see you next time when we're working on the 37 Ford.